Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time you're seeing this. Thank you for joining me as I answer some Q&A questions for my 500 subscribers special. I have put in a lot of time and energy and dedication to my YouTube channel and it's finally starting to pay off and I'm so excited to see what is in store for the future. So, as our community is growing, I think it's about time you all learned a little bit more about me. So, I have some questions here in my magic journal, and we're going to answer them. Our first question is: what's a hobby or an interest you have that most people wouldn't expect? So, I am a pretty shy person, and a lot of people would not expect that I was actually in a dancing school for about 7 years. Not gonna lie, every once in a while I do bust out a move or two, especially in tap. I love tapping, and I do remember some stuff from school. I honestly really want to start getting into a ballet again because I just love the shoes, the fits, the music. When did you start playing music and what do you hope to achieve? When it comes to music, I am definitely a late bloomer. Throughout my life, I would try to pick up ukulele, guitar, recorder, but I didn't get the hang of it until about 2 years ago. I started playing guitar. So I went to a Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks concert about 2 years ago, and that truly changed my perspective of musicians and music. There, I really felt the power music can do and how it can reach across so many different audiences. About a week after that event, I had taken some LSD, some Lucy, and I was just playing my guitar. And I feel like that is really what connected me and told me that, hey, this is your dream and you're gonna do this. One day, I hope to become a master and a teacher of electric guitar, acoustic guitar. And what I honestly hope to achieve is to be able to play one of those guitars that have 12 strings. I think is amazing. And what inspires me too is my family. My family has many musicians, especially my grandpa, even though he was a piece of shit. He was a great musician, and I aspire to be as good. If you could collaborate with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be and why? Honestly, I did not grow up listening to a lot of rock music, but I have two answers. So, the first answer I have is one of my favorite alternative rock musicians. His name is Jutes. I would love the opportunity to collaborate with him. But my honest and real answer would honestly be Harley from Illuminostic because first of all, he's a god at guitar, and if I could be able to collaborate with him, that means I have built probably a lot of skills because Harley is extremely good, extremely intuitive, and to be able to play with him, I feel like you have to be really dang good. So that is definitely something that I plan to be doing. I will be so proud of you. Do you feel like living in Ecuador has changed the way you see life? This is 100% yes, because first of all, I feel less materialistic. Second, I feel more eco conscious in a way. One thing I would say is people here do not have a lot of money. People in the poorest neighborhoods are some of the happiest people you will ever see, or maybe not even happy, but content. And it's truly amazing to see the hard work and dedication that Ecuadorians put into sustaining life. For example, agriculture here is so insane, and it just has completely changed my perspective on the way I eat, on what I eat, and farming techniques. I just feel like my life has become more fulfilled culturally, spiritually, just because I feel as if people here have such a deep connection with the land, especially indigenous, and my perspectives on consumerism, what I buy, has completely changed because I'm seeing these indigenous communities being directly impacted by all of our choices, but most importantly by rich billionaires and mining companies. And it's just been an interesting experience to see the world in a different perspective. So the next the next question is, what's a day usually like in your life? So usually I wake up around 8 or 9, I take a shower, eat breakfast, go outside to tend to the chickens, to the plants, and I love me a lemonade. I have about 3 or 4 lemon trees in the back, so that's my go-to drink. I'll make a lemonade and just sip on that the entire day. But then I'll usually do some homework. I'm currently in community college. I'm taking a reading class, so I've been reading some chapters of a book. I usually love to always do a meditation ritual and draw a tarot card. So I love to do that. Next, I'll check my social media just to catch up with my friends, especially we love sending video notes together. A shout out to Ashlyn and Gianna. I love you guys. Then I'll make me some lunch. I usually have, rice or chicken, rice or beef, soups. Right now we're making spaghetti. Now, after lunch is really my time to be creative. So, if I'm not making a YouTube video, I'm definitely just playing guitar, singing outside, creating something, creating necklaces, crocheting, writing, drawing. I'm also an avid anime watcher. I love watching things, so I'll usually do chores, clean the house every day, do the dishes every day, just things like that. And then towards the nighttime, I'll relax with some dinner, do a little bit more homework, play some guitar, go live, do YouTube videos, or just post on social media. Next question. When did you first become interested in spirituality? So I can answer this about 4 years ago. 4 or 5. I honestly can't count. Actually, I'm about to turn 21, so coming up on 5. I was a junior in high school. I had just broken up with an ex boyfriend that had cheated on me 3 times, and I left after the third one. Yes, I know. But I was so depressed. I couldn't even go to sleep at night without bawling my eyes out, just thinking, just my mind at night was so crowded. I could not go to sleep. And that's when I started meditating. I also started talking to my therapist, which she is an angel. Shout out Nina. She My therapist was also spiritual, so she helped me kind of look into more things like that. But honestly, I started meditating. From there, I did Kundalini yoga. I started experimenting with psychedelics, and ultimately, everything that has happened has led me to now. What's one of the wildest psychedelic experiences that you have had? But I'll tell you about this one time that I took 2 taps of Lucy. So I was with some not so good friends, and people can definitely influence your trip. But anyway, we were in the car and we were driving somewhere. I don't even know. But this just like ugly rap song came on, and I just started getting such bad vibes. And I saw one police car, and I was concerned because, when you're tripping and you see a cop car, you get sketched out. So I was very fearful, and you know what happened? Literally every single car turned into a cop car, and I was freaking out because it looks like we were in this car surrounded by police, and it was insane. But after about 5 minutes, I figured out, wait, this isn't real. And as soon as I saw a flash of like a regular car, I was like, wait, I'm just in my mind. Like, this is not real. As soon as I did that, every single car turned back to normal. And it's actually insane that that happened. And our last but not least question, Can you tell us a little bit about your life growing up? So, I am turning 21 years old. I was born in January 14th, 2005, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in a pink hospital. I was a daughter of a Colombian father and an Ecuadorian mother. I stayed in Oklahoma for about 5 years. My dad unfortunately passed away when I was two. A shout out to the Dead's Dads Club. But so my dad died, and then about a couple years later, my mom found my stepdad, who's still currently my stepdad and who I call my father. Um, so I'd say my life was pretty normal and fun growing up. We moved to Kansas City when I was about like in first grade. So I grew up in Kansas City and life was pretty normal up until about 13 years old. That's when I really started, it's your rebel ages. I started experimenting with drugs. I started, going out, hanging out with my friends, spending the night, going to parties, everything like that. I'd say that really struggled between 13 and 17 because I felt like I didn't have the best parenting that I needed. For example, my stepdad is in the military, so if you know, you know. Like, them people are not soft, they are hard. So, getting punished was really harsh. I had my phone constantly looked through, which just felt like such an invasion of privacy. There was just family dramatic things. So by the time I was 16, I really just started to separate myself from the family and just kind of express myself as the black sheep. During this time, I got in a lot of trouble with the law, mostly because my military dad called the cops on me for having a bag of weed in my car. So I spent 6 months in probation, and that's again when I started my spiritual journey, which completely changed the trajectory of my life. I'm now living here in Ecuador, and I don't think any of that would have been possible if I did not experience the lowest low that I had. So, fast forward till after college, I stayed in my parents' house for like another year, saving up money, and then moved to Ecuador. That's pretty much where I'm at right now. I'm currently pursuing a musician career, also in college, but at the same time trying to figure out like where am I going to stay, trying to figure out my income. So that honestly is pretty much everything about me. If you stay to the end, thank you so much. I'm giving you a high five. I love you, sending you extra loving energy. But that's it. That's all the questions I have for this video. And if you want to ask me any other question, feel free to in the comments down below. But thank you so much for spending this time with me. And yeah, check the description down below. And I will see you guys later. Bye.